The Princess Mouse, Tale of Finlad, told by Sheppard. Once, there was a farmer who had 2 daughters. One morning, he said to them,
Boys, you're old enough now to marry. But in our family, we have our own way to choose a bride.
the younger son nodded and listened respectfully. But the older one said,
You told us, Father. We must just cut down a tree and see where it points.
That's right. Then, walk that way till you find your sweetheart. That's how we've done it. That's how we always feel.
Now, the older son already knew he wanted to marry. He also knew how to cut a tree so it fell how he wanted. So, he straight bent and pointed to the farm where his sweetheart lived.
the younger son, whose name was didn't have a sweetheart, but he thought he'd try his luck in the farm. Well, maybe he cut the tree wrong, or maybe it had thoughts of its own, but it fell pointing to the forest.
Ha! Good job, Dico. What sweetheart could you find? A wolf or a fox? Never mind. I'll find who I find.
The 2 young men went their way. Nico walked through the forest for hours without seeing a soul. But at last, he came to a cottage deep in the woods.
I knew I'd find a sweetheart.
But when he went inside, he saw no one.
All this way for now.
Maybe not.
Nico looked around, but the only living thing inside was the little mouse on the table. Standing on its hind legs, it gazed at him with large, bright eyes.
Did you say something?
Of course I did. Now, why don't you tell me your name and what you came for?
Nico had never talked with a mouse, but he felt it only polite to reply.
My name is Nico, and I've come looking for a sweetheart.
Why, Nico, I'd gladly be your sweetheart.
But you're only a mouse.
That may be true, but I'm also your still love, faithfully. Besides, even a mouse can be special. Come, feel my hand.
With one finger, Nico stroked the mouse's back.
Why? It feels like velvet, just like the gown of princess.
That's right, Nico.
And as he patted her, she sang to him prettily.
Nico, sweetheart, feel like this. What a fine young Nancy. Gonna velvet as you wear, like a princess, fine and rare.
Nico looked into those large, bright eyes and thought it really was quite nice for a mouse. And since he found no one else anyway, he said,
All right, little mouse, you can be my sweetheart.
Oh, Nico, I promise you won't be sorry.
Nico wasn't so sure. He just stroked her fur and smiled. When Nico got home, his body was already reposed in their father.
My sweetheart has rosy red cheeks and long golden hair.
Sounds very nice. And what about yours, Nico?
Ha! Yes, Nico. Did you find your sweetheart with a nice fur coat?
Now, Nico didn't want to admit his sweetheart was a mouse. So he said,
Mine? Where's the golden hair? Like a princess.
his brother stopped laughing. The farmer said,
Well, it sounds like Nico's straight one in a good way, dude. But now must test both your sweethearts. Tomorrow, you'll ask them to make you some clothes, then you'll bring it home to me. That's how we've done it. That's how we always feel.
they started out early next morning. When Nico reached the cottage with the food, there was a little mouse on the table, jumping up and down in happiness.
Oh, Nico, I'm so glad you're here. Is it the day of our wedding?
Nico sighed and gently stroked her fur.
Not yet, mouse.
Why, Nico? You look so sad. What's wrong?
My father wants you to make some cloth. But how can you do that? You're only a mouse.
That may be true, but I'm also your sweetheart. And surely Nico's sweetheart can be just aside from your book. Why don't you rest my offer?
All right.
Nico lay down on a bed in a corner, and the little mouse sang him a pretty lullaby.
Nico's sweetheart, feel like this. What a fun young fantasy. Lot of newness out the field. I'll be done when he was asleep.
When the little mouse was sure that Nico was asleep, pick up a sleigh bell on a card and wrap it. Out of mouse holes all around the room poured hundreds of mice. They all stood before the table, gazing up at her.
Hurry! Each of you, fetch a strand of the finest flax. Come on!
The mice rushed from the cottage.
Then 1, 2, 3, and back they were, each with a strand of flax. First they spun it into yarn on the spinning wheel.
Some worked the paddle, some fed the flax.
Some rode around with the wheel. Then they strung the yarn on the loom and wove it into cloth.
Some worked the paddle, some rocked the beater.
Some sailed the shuttle back and forth. At last they got the cloth from the loom and tucked it in a nutshell.
Now, off you two.
And they all scampered back to their mouse holes.
Nico, wake up. It's time to go home. And here is something for your father.
Nico sleepily took the nutshell.
He didn't know why his father should want such a thing, but he said,
Thank you, Mouse.
when Nico got home, his brother was proudly presenting the cloth for his sweetheart. The farmer looked it over.
Strong and fairly even. Good enough for simple folks like us. And where's yours, Nico?
Nico blushed and handed him the nutshell.
Look at that. Nico asked for a cloth, but her sweetheart gave him a nut.
But the farmer opened the nutshell and peered inside. Then he pinched at something and started to pull. Out came linen, fine beyond belief. It kept coming too, yard after yard after yard.
Nico's brother gawked with open mouth, and Nico did too.
Oh, there can be no better beaver than Nico's sweetheart. But both your sweethearts will do just fine. Tomorrow, you'll ask them for the wedding. It's how we've done it, and it's how we always feel.
When Nico arrived at the cottage next morning, the little mouse came jumping down.
Oh, Nico, is this the day of our wedding?
It is, little Mouse.
But he sounded more glum than ever.
Why, Nico? What's wrong?
How can I bring home a mouse to marry? My brother and father and all our friends and neighbors will laugh and think I'm a fool.
They might think so. But Nico, what do you do?
Nico looked at the little mouse, gazing at him so seriously with her large bright eyes.
He thought about how she loved him and cared for him.
I think you are sweet as any sweetheart. So let them laugh and think what they like. Today, you will be my bride.
Oh, Nico, you've made me the happiest mouse in the world.
She rang her sleigh bell, and to Nico's astonishment, a little carriage rolled into the room. It was made from a nutshell and pulled by 4 black rats. A mouse coachman sat in front and a mouse footman behind.
Nico, aren't you going to calm him down?
Nico lifted her from the table and set her in the carriage. The rats took off and the carriage sped from the cottage, so that Nico had to rush to catch up.
When he heard along behind her, the little mouse sang a pretty song.
Nico, sweetheart, will I be? What a fine young Nancy. In a carriage I will ride when I go to be his bride.
At last, they reached the prominent spot for the wedding, on the bank of a lovely, sweet, flowing stream. The guests were already there, enjoying themselves. But as Nico came off, they all grew silent and stared at the little carriage.
Nico's brother stood with his bride, clapping in disbelief. Nico and the little mouse went out together.
That's the stupidest thing I ever saw.
And with one quick kick, sent the carriage, the rats and the mice, all into the stream. Before Nico could do a thing, the current poured him away.
What have you done? You killed my sweetheart. Are you crazy? That's only a mouse. She may have been a mouse, but she was also my sweetheart. And I really did love her.
He was about to swing at his brother when his father called out.
Nico,
Look, all the guests were staring down the street and pointing and crying out in wonder.
Nico turned. To his amazement, saw 4 black horses pulling a carriage out of the street.
A coachman sat in front and a footman behind, and inside was so but lovely princess in a gown of pearly velvet. The carriage drove up along the land and stopped right before him.
Nico, aren't you going to help me down?
Nico stared blankly a moment. And then his eyes flew wide.
Are you the little mouse?
I surely was, but no longer. A witch enchanted me, and the spell could be broken only by one brother who wanted to marry me, and another who wanted to kill me. But, sweetheart, I need a change of clothes. I can't be wet until a wedding.
And a grand wedding it was, with Nico's bride to wander above. The farmer whose heart was enough looking at her.
Of course, Nico's brother was a bit jealous, but his own bride was really quite nice, so he couldn't feel too bad. The next day, the princess got Nico to her cottage, but it was a cottage no longer.
It was a castle with hundreds of servants.
And there, they lived their whole happily. And then Nico and the princess had any sons?
You know just how they chose their bride.